My name is Sitik Muduev. I represent Dagestan, Makhachkala, and I train in Coconut Creek, Florida. I think I better with my than my opponent in wrestling, grappling especially, and also I think in striking. This is gonna be my first title. It's gonna be for me like specially title and championship. I can win him like TKO and knock him out.
Josh Marsh, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, USA. I think he's a tough opponent. I think he has a relentless grappling style that he believes in. My strengths is, I think, just my experience and being able to keep my composure, you know, while I'm in there. Man, it would mean a lot to me, man. It would be just a little piece of redemption for myself, you know. I feel like my journey in mixed martial arts hasn't been clean cut, you know. But every day I still show up at the gym and try to stay consistent, you know. So this would just propel me in the right direction.
So set and ready for our feature bout in the preliminary card here, this featherweight Grand Prix bout that will see two debutants in the UFL cage. Sitik Muduev, the 10-4 Makhachkala fighter, taking on Josh Marsh. Frank, we are just awaiting them to be locked and loaded backstage, and you can go to F3 Energy. He earned his sponsorship for F3 Energy with that first round finish. You can actually go to f3energy.com and you can use the code UFL3 to get a discount code on your next order. Looks like we are set and ready. Finally, now the fighters locked and loaded. We're going to welcome Josh Marsh. Here he is, coming towards the UFL cage now. Frank, this is something that I've seen by watching this guy's fights and then even talking to his teammates. He comes from that Elevation Fight team, the same as Judson Vettel, the same as Corey Sandhagen, the fighters of that ilk. He is somebody that has absorbed himself into the fight game. And if you look at his record, 7-4, it's so deceptive because he is not just a fighter, he is an absolute dog in the cage. He brings the war every single time. You sign on that paper to fight this guy, and you know you're going to get that fight. You know, no matter what your style is, no matter what your background, what your experience, what your personality, your profile, wherever you stand in the pecking order, he will stand up to you with no fear in his eyes and bring absolute heat every time.
And that's almost what he really stakes his namesake on. If you look, guys pull their confidence from different areas. Josh really pulls his confidence. He goes, hey, look, I might not be the best guy in the gym, but I'm not going away. I'm the guy that when you show up, you're going to know you're in a fight with. You might beat me on some days. You might edge me out. He's never been knocked out, never finished, only beat by decision. And I very well might knock you out. But at the end of when the dust clears, if you do beat me, you're going to be hurting. You're going to not want to spar me the next day. You're going to avoid me. And that's the kind of tenacity he brings to the fights. That's where you're like, his manhood.
We're just waiting for something. I'm not sure exactly what the delay is. Josh Marsh as well. This is the other thing, like these moments won't faze him as well, Frank. He's not built like that. He is somebody that is, you know, he loves to fight for one thing, but he is totally absorbed in this. He's not just a fighter in his own right. He is a key training partner for some of those big names that we've talked about.
And that's the biggest way to tell the guys in the sport because, you know, it's like you're a rock star. Do you want to be a rock star because you want, you know, fans and you want money, or you actually like music? There's guys that get into the fight world because they want to be famous. They want the accolades and the attention that comes with being a fighter. They don't actually love fighting, though. And here, you see that in Josh Marsh because when guys show up and it's not their turn in the limelight, they still come to practice. They still help out their brothers and sisters. That makes it shows you that he's a real fighter and he enjoys the lifestyle of martial arts, not just the accolades that come along with it.
You talked as well about his record, 4 losses, but all by decision. However, his wins, you look at the record there, 7 professional wins against really good competition as well, Frank. Somebody who'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, quite literally. But within those 7 victories, 4 by way of finish, all by knockout as well. And his team partner was saying to me, look, everyone's going to look at Muduev and the grappling, the wrestling coming from Dagestan, Makhachkala. They said, but this dude, he's going to be dangerous for the full 15 minutes. You can hold him down for 14 minutes, 55 seconds.
Yep, he's still looking for a finish.
He can still find a way. Again, we're just waiting on what the deal is here. The commission just talking to the referee. cut man. Oh, we are waiting for the cut man. We have we got no one to grease Josh Marsh. Where is the? That's super strange.
Yeah, a little bit of maybe a miscommunication. You know, we got the cut man that when he's not cornering people, they're the other ones that trade off to be able to grease the fighters and check their nails and whatnot when they come in.
We saw somebody literally running backstage, so hopefully we won't keep Josh Marsh too long.
You know, stuff like this, though, test your mental fortitude. Fighting itself is already a nerve-wracking experience. You're out there, you're displaying who you are. That's what the world's just going to see, you know. And now things aren't going according to plan, not how you visualized it. And it can throw a lot of people off.
So there we go. We finally got a cut man back here inside, set and ready. And this isn't just a stall for the man we're staring at in the camera, right? There's a guy backstage waiting to come out as well. So it's twofold. Everyone thinks it's just about Josh Marsh, but there's Sitik back there as well. He's going to be anticipating his debut. He's amping himself up for his walkout.
And there is only so much you want to peek out. You're understanding, like, that's just part of the science as a coach too, as a manager. Your fighter, like, hey man, we're going to warm up, break a sweat, get our oxygen level to a certain level in our blood, and then we'll shut it down, and then at a certain point we'll start ramping back up because we know that's when you're going to face off there inside the cage. Here, a situation like this arises, it's like, hey man, we might be amped up for too long and be fatigued that first round.
So Josh Marsh is finally inside the cage. Now time to welcome his opponent. And here he comes, Sitik Muduev. Professional record of 10-4. Based now in Miami, Florida. Fighting out of American Top Team, one of the top gyms in the world. But also coming from one of the best fighting areas in the world, right, Frank? Dagestan, Makhachkala. That wrestling, that grappling base. And look, this guy emulates that, emanates it throughout his fighting style. He's a high-pressure fighter. Constantly looking for the takedowns, constantly looking to dominate you, wear you down, break you bit by bit, second by second within the fight. And when you look at that territory, and I know you look at it very fondly as far as the style, that freestyle wrestling, that base that they've got out there that they do from a very young age, it's just innate, right?
They're very much about controlling position. You watch those guys fight because of obviously the wrestling foundation that the country has. Since lots of guys in the Olympics with medals, their fighting style when they're playing around the room, even in the very beginning, the mindset is, I'm going to control you. Now with finishes, that's the thing I think really adds to their mental fortitude, is that they don't get to go ahead and have a submission or a choke. You know, there are pinning, but it's almost like, okay, for the full distance, I'm going to control you and crush you. And they bring that style to the fights to where you'll sit there and go, man, it's just relentless pressure. They lock around your waist, they're not going to let go, they're going to ride your legs, beat you up until the fight's over with. And they have no problem just beating the hell out of you for 15 minutes and not getting a finish, and just constantly keeping control.
You look at his record as well, 10 professional wins against really good experienced opponents in competition. 5 of those wins come by way of finish, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. And it's the pace he sets, Frank. He will turn it on right from the start. And what I've just noticed in his corner as well, Artem Levin, who is a famous kickboxer. And I know he's now based over there in American Top Team, helping fine-tune those skills, those weapons. Let's get this one on. Let's hand it to Michael Vale.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is a semifinal in the UFL Featherweight Grand Prix, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 145.4 pounds. He has a professional record of 7 wins, 4 losses. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, please welcome Josh Marsh. And now his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 145.3 pounds. He has a professional record of 10 wins, 4 losses. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, let's welcome Sitik Muduev.
Now we look at the tail of the tape between these two, this featherweight Grand Prix. Muduev versus Marsh, 10-4 versus 7-4, 5'8" versus the 6-foot Josh Marsh. Height and reach on the side of Josh Marsh. Let's get this one underway. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. This a Grand Prix semi-finalist. Both guys debuting in the UFL, looking to earn their spot to vie for that featherweight gold at December 16th. Marsh, blue corner, taking on Muduev in the red. And it's not if, it's when, right, Frank? When is Muduev going to look to change levels and go for that clinch, that takedown?
Boy, he's so comfortable in his energy. When guys fight in a certain range all the time, he's fought that way since a young age. You can sit there in that system a lot better, that energy system of grappling, of holding and squeezing. Other guys might find it extraordinarily fatiguing, whereas he's not. He's going to be comfortable there and take, much more comfortable than grappling than Josh is. Not saying Josh is not, but Josh is more of a well-rounded fighter. Elevation, very good kickboxer, striking. You can see here, he's going to want to probably contest this fight on his feet as much as possible. Not allow himself to be taken out.
Oh, nice. Wow. Oh, nice stepping elbow there as well from Josh. Oh, and he's dropped him with the left. Whether that was dropping.
And look at his composure. That is really beautiful. I mean, you have a guy who knows he almost get desperately turn on his shots, and he stayed extremely relaxed. He's coming with those elbows again.
His counters are so quick.
Yeah. And straight. I mean, point A to point B. No flaring of the elbow, no wind up. It makes it extremely hard to see.
And loose as well. Look at that nice low calf kick, mixing it up, using lots of weapons and using his distance, his range, his advantages in that realm.
Yeah, he's slipping just enough.
Now this is the battle. This is where the real work has been put in, I'm sure, at Team Elevation.
Doing a great job right now, trying to split the legs, dig that underhook, pull him up off of his. You can't let us connect his hands below the butt.
Fight the hands aggressively.
And Muduev is so good at chaining together. One connection leads to multiple opportunities. That's one of the skills, one of the keys for his grappling.
Well, right now he needs to switch off. He's maybe a body lock here, but his elbow is above the hip.
Oh, nice work from Mark. That's huge, Frank. That is huge, especially when Muduev is fresh and strong. But what you do know is Muduev will keep doing that. He will keep knocking on that door time and time again.
You're leading this fight. He's starting to lean forward. Uppercut's going to be there.
Yes, Marsh is some clean strikes, grappling. This is a beautiful display of well-rounded skill right now.
Now he's in on a takedown again. Good work and balance by Marsh.
That was perfectly timed by Muduev. Perfectly timed. Left hook came over. He slipped it by rolling under him. I mean, Josh Marsh's hips were completely exposed. How he got out of that double was mind-blowing.
Feint and throw.
That double 99 out of 100 times, I guarantee you, Sitik is on top of his guy.
I can't tell you how hard it's been to match Sitik Muduev because of his style, because of the team he comes from the background. But Josh Marsh, not a single hesitation in taking this fight, this opportunity, as he calls it.
Mix it up.
And just the energy expenditure, too. Marsh is just so relaxed. Like you said, it helps you. Speed comes from being relaxed. You can't be tense and be fast. It just doesn't work that way. So speed comes from the power, but also too, the ability to continue on doing this for round after round. He's using the minimal amount of energy required to accomplish what he needs to do. There's a perfect display of martial arts on his part.
Super switched on. And coming from that Team Elevation up in Colorado, nicknamed that for exactly the reason. They're at altitude, right? And I've talked to many fighters from there. We've got Cory Sandhagen sat next to us. Bojan Belichkovic is the guy that I know that trains there. And he said his cardio went up ecstatic, hugely with the move to that camp.
I hear horror stories that guys going there the first couple of days of training just can't even think straight.
The body.
Again, reacting so well.
He's in the clinch.
That's so hard for them to do. Is slipping under the lead arm. And Marsh is throwing a hook, so it's rotating his hips. His hip is forward, it's exposed. It's about as picture perfect as an opportunity for Sitik to land a double that you can get. You know, shoulder on the hip, driving his face across, and somehow, you know, Marsh is able to react fast enough to get the cross face and his legs back.
We can see confidence in Marsh now as well, sitting down on the punches a little bit more now, Frank.
Yeah, right now though, you see that he's, that's probably the first time though, but he's actually turned it on now.
There we go, there we go.
Up until that point, a little bit of a taunting. Marsh is kind of like traditional martial arts mindset, like you do something, I'm gonna block it, defend it, and punish you for it. He's playing counter fighter, beautifully so. But you can see Sitik Muduev, he's the one initiating, wanting to come forward, drive, not with any success, but he's definitely, was his impotence to push the fight. Right there, the last 10 seconds, you've seen all of a sudden Josh Marsh turn on, start coming forward. If we see more of that, this could be a really bad night.
Well, let's talk through some of the action you did see in round number 1, Frank.
Yeah, that calf kick is menacing. It drops you down, changes your base. You can't even really attack off of it. There, spinning psychic right to the midsection. Really just, even if you doesn't stop, you obviously didn't drop Sitik. Those shots take energy away from you. Yeah, that calf kick is just money. It wrecks your leg. You know, something that's really come up later years of the mixed martial arts world. Everybody always thought, oh, attack the sciatic nerve, the top of the quad. But guys sit down on it and they throw punches and knock guys over. This is very difficult to do with that calf kick. You either have to turn your shin all the way out or just step away, which means you're stepping away from being able to hurt your opponent.
Round 2 underway, Josh Marsh, blue corner, Muduev in the red.
Now Marsh is starting to come in a little bit more aggressively. Push, I mean, he should, I mean, he has a confidence. I mean, some of the punches he's thrown and the timing Sitik Muduev has hit him on, I'm like, wow, if he couldn't take you down that way, you're probably going to get out of most of these takedowns, which is going to raise his confidence to just keep on going.
Still went to that calf kick as well again there, Frank. You can see that lead leg of Muduev starting to show signs.
Yeah, and it's funny because, not funny, but Josh is showing Sitik how to defend that. He goes, hey, pull your leg back. If you're going to kick me in the leg, just move it out of the way. You know, with a calf kick, it's very difficult to sit on it. You can break the fibula, it knocks you off balance. Really, the only counter I've ever found that works is completely like
withdrawing it, right? 1 minute down, round number 2. Again, firing that weapon.
Whoa! Nice right hander for Sitik.
Really making him pay with that. That is certainly what you would anticipate the corner word saying, keep that as a target, keep using that weapon.
Well, it throws off Muduev's ability to come forward and fight, because it means the minute he throws a punch, your weight transitions from your front foot to your back foot. He's throwing a ball, right? Any throwing maneuver you're going to do, your weight has to move forward and your lead leg catches it. Well, if someone's kicking that leg out from underneath of you, you're falling on your butt. You have no ability to drive forward. And then you start getting tentative about throwing those shots because you don't want to put too much weight on that lead leg.
Now he's pulling it back.
Now he's pulling it back.
Clean hands though from Marsh.
Very. He's just relaxed, eyes open.
Oh, saying that he's been dropped. Oh, Muduev looking to be the first man to finish. And he's done it. He is the first man to stop Josh Marsh.
What a turnaround. He was fighting the whole time. Sitik Muduev never gave up. He was fighting a guy that had skills that was just giving him a very difficult time tonight. He never once really got on top to ride him to really impose his will.
He never got into his game plan, Frank. That was not a Muduev fight. That was a Josh Marsh fight until one moment.
That's the danger of just the striking world. You know, it's hard to accidentally get choked. Accidentally get, but punches, man, you make a split-second mistake in the striking world, and the best of fighters can get dropped.
Well, there we have it. Josh Marsh getting stopped for the first time by Sitik Muduev. Really impressive performance from Marsh up until that point. Then Muduev just dug deep, put in the work. Let's take a little look back at that finish, at that fight. Here we go, look, Marsh, oh, he walks into it. He was walking forward, and that's the momentum that added to the power and eventually led to the stop. Look at that clean check left hook there. Wow. And then piled on the pressure. The referee left with no option but to stop the fight. Let's make this one official. Let's hand it to the man with the mic, Mr. Michael Bale.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ryan Bogan stops this bout at 2 minutes 9 seconds of round number 2 for your winner by TKO due to strikes. And now moves on to the finals of the UFL Featherweight Grand Prix. Sitik Muduev.
Sitik Muduev claiming that victory and earning his spot.
Hey, you were in a tough fight tonight. It wasn't even a fight that was stylistically like how you like to fight. You were trying to. Your opponent was fighting his game. What was in your mind to keep going forward to make sure you turned that around?
You know, I always tried every fight to wrestle, but I know what my strategy is well also. I hope punch, I give, before interview I tell I'm gonna knock him out. This is what I do.
No, you obviously have a lot of power. We saw how that turned around the fight. At any moment you start getting discouraged though that you're a great wrestler. You took a lot of shots and he was able to defend. Were you surprised?
Honestly, he was surprised for me about defend wrestling, striking. And first round, he didn't problem to me. Yeah, I just go forward and never give up. And
no quitting you, man. Great fight. You're a winner, Sitik Muduev.